Hey guys, and welcome back to TechForce. So today we'll be taking a look at one of the best, if not the best, portable projector out there. Apollo by Nebula. Now this incredibly small device, which is about the same size as a small Bluetooth speaker, is able to project up to a 100-inch screen on any surface, whilst producing a crisp and clear image. So if you're interested in this product, please stick around to find out some more. Okay, so let's begin by taking a look at what we've been given inside the box. So inside we of course get the actual Nebula Apollo projector itself. Then we're given a power adapter to charge the projector when it's low on battery. Then we're given a nice remote control which comes with batteries, and then lastly we have the user manuals to help you get this projector quickly set up and running. Now in terms of the design and how this projector has actually been built for portability, it's really nice. When taking a look at some of the competing portable projectors out there, they've all been designed with the same book sort of shape, whereas this one by Nebula, amongst others they've designed, have been produced with a cylindrical sort of shape, which makes them far more portable. Now the main aspect of a projector is of course the image quality. So during my use, I found that the image was obviously best in darker conditions, and when using the projector during the day, you were limited in terms of the size of the screen you could produce. You could only really produce about a 24-inch screen during the day, which wasn't enough to be able to watch movies and things. So this meant that during the day, the TV was the better option. But then when it was darker, you could watch movies on a 100-inch screen, which was incredible, and it was also very clear. Now, one other thing I noticed when using this projector is that it does have a built-in speaker. And this speaker is alright, but it isn't necessarily the best. But then that is what you would expect, because Nebula were obviously aiming to produce a really good projector with the built-in sound system being the second most important thing. So when I did use it, I would use it alongside the LG PL7 speaker, which I made a video of a few months ago, and if you guys are interested, you can go check it out. Now for around £150, the LG PL7 speaker was really good alongside this projector, as it produces very crisp sounding audio, giving a proper movie-like feel. Okay, now let's discuss the actual interface. So the Nebula Apollo is running Android 7.1, which is slightly outdated, and on top of this, Nebula have produced their own interface, which is pretty straightforward to use. The only thing I don't really like is the fact that the apps and the App Store itself do seem pretty outdated, which is a huge letdown. But then again, this whole projector system has been updated by Nebula, and they have produced the Nebula Capsule 2, which produces far clearer HD screen, and the operating system is a lot better as it does run Android 9.1. So everything is a lot more up to date, so you don't have to worry about any issues during use anytime soon. Now, the Nebula Capsule 2 is a bit more expensive though, at £550, whereas the Nebula Apollo is £450. But I would definitely say it's worth paying the extra money, as you are getting a far better interface, as well as a lot better video quality. Okay, now I think that's pretty much it in terms of the interface. Let's move on to the buttons and things on the actual device. So on the projector at the back, there are 3 ports as well as 2 buttons. Now the buttons are simply the on and off button, and also a button to transform this projector into a standalone speaker, which is a nice addition, but personally I do see no point in using it because the sound quality isn't fantastic. Then in terms of ports, there are 3. One HDMI port for plugging in a streaming device or laptop or something similar. And then a USB port for plugging in a phone, a flash drive, or something else similar to that. And then lastly, a DC charging port where you can charge the projector from with the provided charger. Then in terms of any other physical controls on the projector itself, there is a small slider on the side allowing the focus to be altered. So when you're changing the distance of the projector from the screen and also altering the size of the screen, you will need to change the focal distance by adjusting this sliding mechanism on the side, just to make the picture clearer. So this is very easy to do, so there's nothing to worry about really. Then next, on the bottom of the projector, we have a tripod mounting screw, which allows you to attach a tripod on the bottom and have the projector angling correctly at the display. So this is a nice addition, but it isn't actually necessary because this projector is very small. And well, if you leave it on the floor and angle it upwards, it's actually able to adjust the picture and make sure the picture remains flat on the wall. Now, I thought this was pretty amazing and, well, very useful. It's also able to adjust the picture when projecting from various angles, which does work well, but not perfectly every time, which is acceptable and could just be improved over time with some software updates. Now, on the actual projector itself, there is a touchpad on the top with some of the basic controls from the remote. So if you don't have the remote to hand, you can essentially do everything with the touchpad itself. And this does work perfectly. Now, the remote control is amazing. It's very lightweight and all the buttons are very responsive. It also has a very nice simple design, which makes it really easy to use. The only issue is that you do tend to use the remote when it is dark, so it's quite hard to see the buttons. So if Nebula produced glow-in-the-dark icons or something on each of the buttons, that would have been pretty cool. But then again, they did produce an app which actually allows you to control the projector, and this app is called Nebula Connect. Okay, now from my use of this app, it isn't too bad. It's simply used to control the projector. So it's basically a remote control but from your phone, and well, it does just that. So it's a pretty simple app, but it does what it's supposed to very well. There is a large touchpad in the middle of the display which allows you to just scroll about, and you can turn the projector off, adjust the volume, go back, go home, and that's pretty much it. So overall, would I recommend that you buy this projector? Well, for £450, it's obviously quite expensive, and well, if you wanted to buy a portable projector by Nebula, I would recommend the Nebula Capsule 2. Which is £100 more, but then is a lot better in terms of image quality, and it also runs Android 9.1, so it's more up to date. But then this is quite pricey, so I would only really buy this if you actually need a portable projector. But if you are able to use a larger projector which just sits in one spot, I would recommend getting one of them, as they do work out cheaper and are able to perform just as well. Now, if you are interested in this product, I will leave a link in the description below, as well as a link to the Nebula Capsule 2 if you're interested in that instead. And whilst you're there, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.